All right. The day we've all been waiting for has arrived. It is the reveal of the progress that has been made on the lean campaign. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still a little bit congested and a little bit of a cough from being sick over that past week, but I am much better than I was, that is for sure. Not coughing very much, but it probably wouldn't. It would help if the weather decided to do like one thing and stick with it. The last like 3 days we've had like spring/summer weather, and now we're back to fucking snowing. It's snowing right now, and it was like 30 some odd degrees outside today. It's ridiculous. I am so over winter and am ready for some warm weather. That is for fucking sure. Got pushed today. Gonna focus on trying to keep some moderate to heavy weight with chest. Finish off with some type of pump finisher. And then probably going to stick to just regular moderate weight with shoulders. Maybe go a little bit heavier with triceps. But, it's more the usual, really. We'll see what happens once we get in there. But the plan as of right now is to start off with some Smith incline press if it is open when I get in there. Morning weight 162, just a little over 162. It seems that my prediction was wrong and I didn't shoot back up, and I retained most of, if not all of, the weight loss that I got during that week or so that I was sick. So it seems some of that was actually fat and not just water weight. So I guess that's an upside. I'm just hoping that most of that was just fat and not fucking, you know, muscle loss, which I don't think it was. I was still working out for the majority of that time, so I don't think I could lose any real muscle mass in 1 week. So I think we're in the clear. What was I gonna say? What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know if I don't think I did, because it was this week as of the recording of this. But I started working on a. No, I did talk about that in the last video, didn't I? I must have, because let me see. But if I didn't, or if you guys don't remember, I started doing work on that oil pump on that van, and apparently, when I was putting we took off one of the main caps underneath, that hold up the crankshaft, and it's got two main bolts in the middle, two more here, and then it's got two small ones on the sides that go through the outside of the block. And I was given the very, very wrong torque specs. I was given 70, 65, and 40. They were like 20, 18, and 15. So apparently it ended up being that I was given Gen 1 torque specs versus whatever gen this motor was. So while I was torquing the outside ones, which are little, like, I think they were 13 millimeter bolts, which I should have figured that was wrong and questioned it, but I just did what I was told. So I I was torquing. I got the first two sets of bolts tightened down. Nothing happened, but I got to the outside ones, those little ones, and I snapped one, and it snapped sheer clear off inside the block instead of just outside of it. So the last 2 days, uh, the old man, the old shop dog, has been working on it. I don't know if he's actually gotten it out yet because there's no real way that I could see about getting that out other than drilling it out and then replacing whatever parts get messed up in the process. He's been doing shit. What was I gonna? Oh, duh. But yeah, so that sucked. So I got pulled off of that for now. I'm thinking either tomorrow or next week, if he does end up getting that fucking piece of that bolt out, I'm gonna get put back on it and finish it up. I just needed to put the radiator back in and put the oil pan with the new gasket in, and it was done. So yeah, I think I did talk about it in the last video because that was 3 days ago. So yeah, but other than that, work has been okay. I did so. I think I did like 4 or 5 buses today, doing different shit. We had a road call with a bus that was overheating, and it was apparently shaking and overheating, and I got a check engine light. By the time I got there, it wasn't overheating, and it did. It wasn't very low on coolant either. We barely added like a quarter of a gallon, or whatever that is. That's a what is that, a quart? That would make sense. But we got it back to the shop, and it was definitely overheating, and it was pissing out coolant out of the rear heater hoses that go up to the back, go up underneath, and go up through the floor to the heater on the back of the van. Apparently, on the last service that it got done to it, which was like within a week, there was a coolant leak that was found, and it was repaired, quote unquote. Well, they put these what are they called? Street connectors. There was a different name for them, but they're like basically a little plastic piece that it's like a butt connector for hoses that goes in between. They put the hose clamps on each side of these two hoses, and they tightened them way the fuck down, way too fucking tight, and it cut the hose, and eventually, like from vibrations or whatever, cut through the hose and it started pissing coolant out of there. So I basically had to cut that out and then resplice them together uh, with the same connectors, just little to a fresh spot on the hoses on each side. Uh, and I replaced a temp sensor, added coolant obviously because it was fucking pissing everything out of there. But it was definitely the previous service person's fault because they did the repair incorrectly. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough talking about work. Let's get in there, get some fucking work done, and do this reveal. I'm probably gonna have the reveal in the thumbnail, one of the poses and the pose down. But it's still fun to see it happen at the end of the video, so stay tuned. A little heavier this set. Okay. I'll try to keep those same reps for the next set. Oh fuck. Okay. Let's move on to something fucking else. Probably gonna do some flies. Enough pressing. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna stay here, do some races, cable or something. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to start with the left side for the next set because I think my right arm is a little bit stronger. One more of those. Okay. Let's do a little bit of short press. Okay. Let's try. Let's see. What's this feel like? Yeah, that'll work. This is one of the exercises I did when I was in PT. It's gonna be. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently because I'm going for like weight and like hypertrophy, sort of. I'm not gonna be going quite as slow, but basically, it's basically an Arnold press, except you're holding them all the way out here. So instead of holding it like closer to your chest like this, it's gonna be out here, putting more tension on those like front delts at the bottom. It's gonna be bring them out, and that's one. Oh fuck. Yeah, I think it is a little bit too heavy. The goal is at the bottom, or I guess at the quote unquote bottom of each of those reps, you want to try to keep your elbows level like this. You don't want them to go below parallel, but as you can see, that's kind of hard to do, especially if you load up the weight, but I digress. Okay, fuck. I'm gonna have to drop the weight for the next set too. God damn. What was that, 8? So when I was doing this in PT, I think I was doing them with maybe 10 pounds, but I was doing 15 reps. And I'll tell you what, fucking burns like a motherfucker when you get done with those sets. Plus I got the same set weight. Who's calling me? Oh, of course, it's spam. Alright, starting the triceps with a little bit of straight bar push down. I'm gonna do a little bit of single arm extensions here. Call that 8. Didn't quite get that last rep. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see how we're looking. Tell you when I miss this part of the videos. Crank this down a little bit. A little bit closer. So, So what do you think? How are we looking for 10 weeks of dieting so far? I'd say we're doing pretty fucking good for ourselves. Let's see how we're looking over here. Better. Alright. Just a little bit. I mean, no way. Oh, do I see a little bit of add down there? Alright, let's get in the car. Okay, and we're done. When I was walking out of the gym, go to my car, there's another car that's the exact same model and make as my car behind me over there. And I wasn't exactly sure if it was mine or not, but as I was getting closer, I started looking at the hood. And I was like, is there a fucking dent in the hood in my car? What the fuck? What the fuck? I was starting to get worried, right? So I hit the what's it called? The, the button on my key fob and realized that it wasn't my car, and wave of relief washed over me, and I was like, thank God. Anyway, that was only the first scare that happened after the camera turned off. So I was looking through the footage of the pose down to pick out screenshots for the thumbnail, and I had gone through it once, picked out what I wanted, so I backed out to go back and look at the different screenshots I've made to like pick out like one or two of them out of the lineup that I had saved. And for some reason, it wasn't the videos and those screenshots weren't showing up. Like they didn't exist. The only thing that showed up in the history, like on the page, was the previous pictures that I had kept on the SD card and like saved or whatever. And I was starting to get worried. I was like, no way. My heart dropped. My fucking face went pale, I swear. Like, if you had a camera pointed at my face in that moment, my face would have went fucking full white. I was like, no shot. I just did that whole video, did those screenshots, did all that, and I didn't get to keep it. And I don't remember what I ended up doing for it before they showed up again, but luckily they came back. So all's well, ends well, crisis averted. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but they just disappeared for a little bit there. But anyway, not looking too bad for 10 weeks of dieting, if I do say so myself. It definitely feels like in the last week to 2 weeks, I've gotten like exponentially leaner than I was before I got sick. I guess before, has it been 2 weeks already? Uh, but it feels like in the last 2 weeks or so, I've gotten exponentially leaner. Like my stomach has gotten noticeably, maybe like in the last week and a half, my stomach got noticeably tighter, like less pinchable fat, and legs have been staying the same. The weird thing is, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but my arms don't feel as lean as they have in the past at this point in the cut. Now, maybe it's because I've been too exposed to all the uh, like dialed in shredded physiques from like the Arnold UK or the Arnold uh, Classic, and with watching Sam get fucking peeled for his show. Maybe that's kind of affecting me, giving me like body dysmorphia even more than usual. But I don't feel that way with my legs. I feel like my legs are like ahead of the game this time around. And like I said, I've mentioned this before. I feel like the fat distribution is different this time because usually arms are the first thing to get fucking dialed and like lean. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Uh, and they're leaner for sure, but they just don't seem as lean as my legs are right now, comparatively, if that makes sense. Because objectively, my arms are leaner than my legs are, but for how lean my legs are, my arms don't seem lean enough, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I am happy with where I'm at so far. I've still got another couple months to go, so I'm definitely going to be peeled by the end of this. At least relatively to what I would call my normal baseline state, uh, which probably is like a few pounds heavier than I am right now. A little soft, but still got some definition. That's usually where I would like to imagine would be my baseline. But what's it called? Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to get leaner than I did last cut because I didn't put on as much excess fat as I did that on the previous bulk, and I am further along earlier in the cut. At this point, I don't know. I think I was still in the high 160s the last time I was. I think I was definitely in the 160s this point in the cut last time around, but I was in the high 160s. I don't think I was getting close to the 150s at all because I went back and looked at the closest day count for where I'm at right now on the last cut, and I'm definitely looking a bit tighter uh, this time around. So that's good. Got chicken and rice on the docket for dinner tonight. Nice and easy, simple. I can't remember what marinade I had the chicken in this time because it's one of those ones that I had frozen, but it looks red and spicy, so I'm guessing I made some type of spicy. I think it was this like a spicy honey barbecue marinade of some sort. I think it was one of the homemade ones I made. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed that. After a little bit of a scare on my end, but everything's good. I'm thinking I'll probably do a video tomorrow since I have space on the SD card. At least I will if I wrap this fucking video up. Do a regular pull day. Am I gonna do? I haven't decided quite yet if I want to keep the push pull leg split up for now, or if I want to go back to doing my chest, back, arms, legs split. Because I started this rotation with legs because I did legs yesterday. Instead of doing legs, rest, push, I did rest, legs, push. Uh, so I can do this today. Also, funny number day, I did that instead of doing day 70 because day 70 would have been pull instead of push, which I wanted to do push. So here we are. I also fucked up the day count when I like planned it out in my notes for like which days would land on what, and it kind of got messed up, and I had to like double and triple check everything so that I can be uploading at the right times and everything. But all right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys stay tuned for the future installments of the Lean campaign. We are far from over with this cut, so keep on watching. Thanks for watching. Later.